Look at us. Okay, now you've got it down exactly where it needs to be.
I saw the real podcasters out there. They've got 75% of their face covered.
I think so. I mean,
so we're amateur hour here. Amateur hour.
I want to believe that people actually want to see my face.
I saw people comment on other people's videos, but comment that they want to see more of Darryl's face. Pretty sure you're the Darryl they're talking about.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. So here we are once again, Sunday morning. Good morning, Mr. TK.
Good morning. How are you, Darryl?
I am excellent. I want to say thank you to all the people that are watching and listening to this. We appreciate your support.
Absolutely. Just another video. It's interesting for us. We like to talk. We like to chat, and knowing that somebody's listening sure helps us keep the conversation going.
Absolutely. So here we are. We got another week of crazy Toronto real estate. I feel like it's been crazy, at least this week. Well,
I want to talk about the situation right now with COVID first before we get into the real estate stuff. I mean, we had changes made, big changes.
We are back at stage 2. What did we call it last time? 2.3?
Sure. Let's go with stage
2.5.
Version 3.
Part 2 is what it was.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Stage 2, part 2. And that's been a huge challenge. I was just talking with someone this morning with a restaurant in Toronto, and they spent a lot of money making all those dividers and having everybody protected in their restaurant. And now it's closed completely, and they've just got their patio open, and it's weather depending.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, people lost a bunch of money waiting to be able to open again, spent a lot of money in order to be able to open again.
Yep.
While open, probably didn't make much money. I mean, maybe helped pay for some rent and paid some wages, who knows what. But like, it definitely wasn't good. And then, bam, like a smack in the face. While the government is saying, I really don't want to do this to you guys. But I'm going to have to do this to you guys. 2 days later, maybe 3 days later, TK is having technical difficulty. He chose to have children, technically. And at the moment, it seems to be a difficulty.
Everything's under control. I got the enforcer to come in and take out the 2-year-old with boxing gloves on.
Yeah, it sounds like everything's under control. That's good.
It's under control. It's all behind that door.
Perfect. It's behind the door, so it's not happening. So where were we? Yeah, so we got another lockdown. Well, here, let me paint a rosy picture from what I took from the fake news, the fake media, who seem to be pushing. So we come off of like the best month of all time and numbers are crazy and everything's great month after month after month. And then all of a sudden there is a lot of condo inventory out there. And we start seeing, articles like this all of a sudden. Canada's budget deficit has grown by more than any other G20 country amid pandemic. Or we're number 1, highest unemployment rate in the G7. Yikes. Ouch. Those two mixed together, not good. What else do we have here? Downtown office vacancies rise with flood of commercial subleases. This is not only Toronto, this is across the country and all of the major cities, but Toronto has doubled basically, and same with Vancouver. What else do we have here? Will second wave of COVID burst Toronto real estate bubble? I don't know very many times that I've been alive that we have not been inside of this bubble. It's amazing that we are able to breathe. I can tell by the lack of noise coming from your side and conversation that there is still a problem in the background. Hold on. I got more articles. We can ride through this storm.
Keep going, Daryl. I'm getting informed right now through you.
1 second, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Ontario Real Estate Association calls for halt to open houses as COVID-19 cases rise. That certainly doesn't make things any easier. Toronto one-bedroom rents fell 15% to below $2,000 in September. Now, some people seem to have pinpointed one of the biggest issues. Tiny condos, now the biggest losers in Toronto real estate market shakeup. Now, who didn't see that coming, right?
Yeah.
We all talked about it, but we didn't do anything about it. Seems to be the case around the world with a lot of things.
I think that there's always the far end of the spectrum in every market. So in the freehold market, it's the high end luxury properties. They're the ones that get hit first. When the market goes booming, everyone's like, "Yeah, I need 8,000 square feet, and I need to be, I have 6-car parking, even though I only owe 2 cars." And that's something that when the markets change, we start seeing those luxury markets get hit first. In the condo market, these small, micro units, 400 or 500 square feet, whatever they are, depending on which location you're in. Sometimes it could be less than 400. Those are the markets that are always going to get hit hardest.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for sure. So hold on a sec. I have 3 or 4 more articles, and then we are going to get into it.
Dive right in here.
North America's biggest housing bubble. Risk defies a pandemic. Does that even make any sense? Did I read it wrong? North America's biggest housing bubble. Risk defies.
So
no, there's no comma. Housing bubble.
Risk defies pandemic.
See, okay. I read it right, but they wrote it wrong. But anyways, I should have known better. CMHC mortgage deferrals in Toronto real estate, 12%.
Okay.
I don't think it's good news, but I think it's better than it could be. Bank of Canada. Okay, so here's something hidden, a gem that I have found. Hidden, amass the wreckage.
Thorough research.
I found it underneath that building that exploded in Beirut. Bank of Canada scales back emergency programs, citing improvement in market function. What is this, man? Higher.
That's the question.
Well, they're slowing down their buying of those Canadian bonds.
For sure.
Backing all these wonderful mortgages that are getting produced.
The Bank of Canada is not very happy right now.
No.
They're like, what is going on here? We're not to get political, but what are we doing right now? What are we financing? We're basically just printing money left, right, and center, and everything just keeps on getting approved. When is this going to stop?
Well, Justin Trudeau just keeps asking everybody if they accept the new credit card by the Bank of Canada.
Yep.
Excuse me. Do you take the BOC card here?
Yep.
Okay.
To support, in Parliament right now. So
sure.
Well, getting things passed.
I believe his credit limit is in the trillions.
He's been building credit since the 70s, since his father.
And interest-only payments. I mean, at point, what does the government even pay for this money? Who knows? The whole thing's crazy. Anyways, here. So that's that. And then higher savings rate will fuel Canada's housing markets. So that's the broad spectrum of news that I kind of saw coming down or up my pipe, depending on your perspective.
I think we could just end the show right here. That's
well,
it. We got the whole news out in front of us.
But you know what was interesting is I couldn't find anything really on immigration. I mean, there's this new program that they created where people can bring their parents and grandparents over easier than I guess before. They can sponsor them, which I guess would help bring a bunch of people that, can't really provide in the economy and really are more of a drain than anything. But I guess it helps bring the numbers up.
Well, no, it's just one, they need housing. So, I mean, this is the Toronto Real Estate Show. So, if I'm living here alone and I've come to Canada and I'm able to live in a 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom condo apartment, and all of a sudden I decide to bring my parents over, and this is how my family came here from Ireland. I need a bigger house. I need more space, right? I need to get my, credit up. I need to, build more income history. I need to be able to get a pre-approval for a mortgage, and I need to get space for my family to live. So these are all factors, right? I mean, and people from other parts of the world want to live with their family. This is what they do.
So let's just paint a picture before we really jump in. So we've got this bubble that just keeps inflating forever. And even when it gets a little bit of a deflation, which I don't even know if we've seen, at least in prices, like I don't even know when prices went down last. I guess when, in 2009 for a little bit. Anyways, they bounced right back within a year last time. So I don't know when the last time like prices stayed down for any extended period of time, but they still haven't even dropped here. So we're in this gigantic bubble that just keeps blowing up, and our debt keeps going up and going up. And here in Toronto, we're dealing with like all of these factors that we just talked about in the headlines here, right? And on top of it, immigration, which is a huge one. I didn't even touch on like students that aren't coming and all that stuff. So, but this is what all these factors right now are really all not inflationary to that bubble, right? They're all trying to poke holes in it, I think.
It's not working.
Well, I don't know.
Well, let's be honest here. It's working in the condo market.
Is it?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the issue is we're always focused on the freehold market, and we hear the average prices, and we know the average price is going up. But is that going to be the case? Are we going to see over the next 3 months condo prices still on average higher than they were a year earlier? That's going to be a hard bill to sell.
So I guess there's no difference between, there's still demand for these products, but they won't let them in. It's like, before a concert starts, everybody's like, let me in, I want to come in. Right? I need this. Come on. And they just won't open the fucking doors. Or like a Leaf game, if you're a couple hours too early, like, and it's cold out, people start getting rangy. You want to get in, you want to buy something.
Yeah, what I'm seeing and hearing though is that immigration is still happening, and that even though things have slowed down and there's a backlog in processing and there's all these other delays, one, we're expected still to hit the 3-year target, of 1 million, net immigrants over the next over 3-year period, right? So obviously the first year there's going to be at least half of the target reached. But I'm also seeing that there's a lot of permanent residencies and different people coming, because that's the other part that you have to understand is there's a lot of people who are already here, right? But because they're on a visa, they're not going to be getting a mortgage. They're not going to be looking at finding secured long-term housing. And so because the government is focusing their energy on those applicants, the people who are already here, they're able to fast track, or not necessarily fast track, but at least continue to process the people that have already made those applications, because their focus is no longer on as many people coming here from outside of the borders. And then that way we're going to have people who are now saying, okay, I've made it. I'm a permanent resident. I'm going to go and get that mortgage. I'm going to go and rent that apartment. I'm going to go and get more space because I know that it's no longer just a temporary place that I'm going to be. So we are still seeing those numbers, right? So I think that the switch isn't as off as I think. The big thing is with the rental side of things in the downtown core is just a really simple thing where you've got no students, you got no businesses, you got no tourists. All these things equate to a bunch of empty units, which is now why our vacancy rate has hit that 2% mark for the first time in years.
And I think it's combined with a lot of investors that shouldn't be investors and got spooked and don't really see the long-term fundamentals, even really not even long-term fundamentals. I mean, at some point this will normalize. This is not a banking crisis. This is not a financial crisis. I mean, it's starting to turn into one, right? But this is not caused by some inside factor, right? It's like, I guess this is what happens when there's a global pandemic.
Well, let's talk about that. So we got the deal of the week to look at this week.
Oh yeah.
Okay. This is a young lady, single mom, looking to move from a condo into a townhouse.
Condo into townhouse. Check.
Okay. How do we do it, Darryl? How do we get from a condo to a townhouse in this market?
In this market.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a sec. Let me think a
What do
little
we
bit
do? Oh, by
here.
the way, it's not a downtown or central condo. It's in Scarborough.
Scarborough. Okay.
Yeah.
I like Scarborough. So what do we do?
Both the condo apartment and the townhouse are in Scarborough.
Well, I was reading this article that's kind of interesting. What are they called? I forget the name of the website, but what they do is they guarantee that they're going to buy your place if you don't sell it in 90 days for a fixed amount, which allows you to purchase your new place
Okay.
and, arrange the financing knowing that you have a sold deal down the pipe at least this.
Great.
So-
That is one option.
So if I remembered the name of the website, I would put it out there.
That's okay.
Something with LY at the end, probably. But
Okay.
yeah.
So that's an option.
That
You
is-
know, there's different companies that are offering that type of security for a guaranteed ceiling on what you're going to have to break bank for. But let me give you the deal.
Hold on.
in particular on this one here.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So I don't get the answer? Because
I thought that was your answer.
well, that was part one, like option
One,
A.
okay. Option two. Let's say that's not an option. Let's say you don't like that option. It doesn't smell good.
It doesn't smell right. I don't like
Yeah.
it.
What's your next one?
My next one is to sell my condo and then find a townhouse I can afford with the money that I have.
Great. I'm going to throw a wrench in it now. Okay. You've found the perfect townhouse already. And there's an offer date.
So I'll tell you, when
Yep.
when we are looking to move,
Yep.
every time I let the perfect one go, there's never going to be another one like this one. I can't believe you let that one go. You're crazy. You're an ass. There's always another one like a few days later. Wow, that's 3 perfect ones. How can... So I would say take emotion out of the equation and still follow option B. Sell your condo.
Great. So let's look at what we did instead.
Perfect. Okay.
All right. So we looked at as many townhouses that were available on the market that met the buyer's needs. We looked at everything that was possibly going to meet things like schooling for the kid and location. And there's a lot of very specific things. And anything that was on the market just didn't work.
Hold on a sec. Hold on. How did I do?
Yeah, those are both your scenarios are great.
Okay, go ahead.
Fantastic.
I had to know that.
We competed in multiple offers, okay, and we put in some conditions.
Wow.
Okay, some conditions that were worded in a way for us to be able to say, if things weren't to our liking, we could not move forward.
Hold on. So just so I understand, this is a townhouse and a condo, both in Scarborough.
Yep.
Both resale market.
We own the condo apartment. The townhouse is something that we want to purchase. So we got the whole entire condo ready, and we had it ready to go on the market at the end of the week. Okay?
Boom.
We looked at sales in the building, and everything was selling very quickly. It's one of the lowest price per square foot in the city at $350 a square foot.
What?
Right?
Where's that? Where is this?
We're about 55 cents a square foot, McCowan and Shepherd.
Is this a co-op or is this a condo?
The condo.
What?
I know. So it was a great opportunity.
Why didn't I find out about this opportunity? What's
So
the rent?
great.
What's the rent there?
On that size of unit would be probably $2,500. But let's not get sidetracked here, Daryl. So we've got it. We've got a great building that seems to be moving well. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any issues, and we're getting the condo ready for sale. We've got everything in line for the end of the week. So we put in an offer on the condo townhouse. We do a longer closing than we want, a longer closing than the sellers want, but we pay a price that we know is going to secure the unit. Okay. We get the condo on the market during the conditional period. We have 2 offers fairly quickly on the condo apartment. And we decide that after doing all of our due diligence, that the price that we paid was higher than we wanted, because at the end of the day, securing the condo townhouse was the most important thing on the offer night, because there were several offers and we were competing. So we went back to the seller and said, well, this price that we paid was too much, and that based on everything that we know in the current market, we believe that it should be at a lower price. So we negotiated the price down, took them to the barber shop, got the price to be in line with what we felt was fair. We firmed up on the condo townhouse. By that time, we had 4 offers on the condo apartment, and we accepted an offer during that in our hands. So it wasn't like we were waiting. We had the offers in our hands. So as we're signing off on the townhouse, we were accepting an offer that was well over asking on the condo apartment. And in the end, it was a very happy ending for somebody who was very nervous about moving and getting out of the space that they were in to be able to get to something better for their family.
So was the haircut part of the strategy at the onset?
It might have been.
Might have been. Because I'll tell you, if it was, this is quite brilliant.
It worked out very well for the client, and that's the main thing.
Well,
that's
if it wasn't, then it worked out really well, and that's a very interesting strategy to put in your back pocket for another day.
Exactly. And then on the strategy on the condo, what we did was this. This is something actually that I don't do often.
What?
The long weekend was there. I said, no offers until after the long weekend. So I got a call from a guy, said long weekend, Monday's that Tuesday. I said, just call me Monday. I'll let you know what they think. So he calls me Monday. I say, bring me the offer for tomorrow. He brought me the offer, but then someone else came in. So I said, look, I want 48 hours irrevocable. So then now I got a great offer, 48 hours irrevocable. So it bought me more time. During those 48 hours, I was able to get several more offers. And that allowed me to get the price that we ended up getting, because I was buying more time. I didn't scare anybody off with an offer date because it's a condo and people read the news, but it was enough to be able to build up momentum, not just take the first offer, and it ended up being, significantly over asking and everything else. So
beautiful. I love it. See, this is why real estate's fun, when you can do shit like that.
These are the good ones, and she's really happy too. It's a really good person to help, and that makes it all worth it.
So, but at the beginning, the idea was pay too much for the first one. Not
pay too much. Secure it at the price that we needed to secure it at when you're competing against several other buyers. Yeah.
By paying too much, or was the price still like? I mean, you went for
a good price.
The price was still a good price before the haircut.
Absolutely. It was $55,000 less than a renovated unit.
So so if there was no price reduction on the townhouse, would we have gone firm?
Yes.
And if we didn't get any offers on the condo, would we have gone firm?
Probably not. Because I would have been concerned after that period of time why we're not getting offers, and I wasn't going to put her in a position that she'd have to sell the condo afterwards in a market like this, and she wasn't in that position to close on the townhouse and not have the condo sold. So no, we wouldn't have. I would have asked for an extension, and I would have seen what we could do on the condo apartment side.
So okay, that worked out really good. So now hold on a sec. She still would have gone for it even without the price. Okay, so hold on. My next question was, what was the square footage of the condo? And then what was
170?
Whoa, for how much? 600,000? 500? What was wrong with this place?
Just that's the market. That's the price in that building, right? And we got higher than the last few sales, and there's other units listed right now that aren't selling at a lower price.
And you can get how much rent there? 2,500, you said?
That would have been like good rent when the rental market was hot. So could be a little bit less now.
Wow. No, Scarborough rents didn't change. I just saw a report from rental.ca that said Scarborough rents in September went down like 0.6%. They're still hovering over $1,900 on average. Yep. So you're talking like 1,300 square feet. That's a 3-bedroom.
2+ den, but it's got electric forced air heat, so that's going to add on a little bit of an expense throughout the year, right? You'll probably pay twice as much hydro than you would if you were in a gas forced air.
Balcony?
Yep.
Parking spot?
Double tandem.
Do you need to go through security before you go into this building?
Yep, there's a concierge.
Metal detector?
No, it's a beautiful building.
Really?
Beautiful amenities. Nothing
Wow.
wrong with it.
What?
That's just the market. I mean, that's, this is
Ooh.
what it is.
We should contact a bunch of the owners in that building.
Yeah, it's a nice little building.
But those numbers make a lot of sense for investment. $500,000 and you get $2,500.
Yeah, so you're going to be spending about $3,200 a month with 20%, about $3,000 a month with 20% down. So if you're only getting $2,500, you're still negative cash flow on that one, unfortunately.
3,000. Why so high?
Because property taxes, maintenance, and mortgage.
How much is the mortgage if you put 20% down? That's only a $400,000 mortgage.
About $2,000.
$2,000 at 1 point something% right now? There's no way.
It's $42 every 10,000. So you're right. It's about 1,700 and something. But depending on how fast you want to pay it off and everything else too, right? So it could be close to $2,000.
Anyways, that's a good deal. Well done, sir. Way to go.
Yeah. So there's ways to move right now in the market. It's just, you got to have a little bit of tact, and you have to be looking at the whole big picture as to what you want to do, right?
Well,
so we talked about it last time with the downtown condos. You might want to get that listing up before you're putting in any offers, especially if you're going to a competitive market. This one happened to be an area that we were able to have some flexibility, which is good. That's the deal of the week.
That's a good deal.
Need a sound effect on that deal of the week call, okay?
There will be no more sound effects, sir, unless they are at the very beginning or the ending.